You ever felt guilty about wanting food even after you were praying? In today's video, I'm going to share with you what the scripture actually says about self control, and this might change your relationship when it comes to food. Let's get into today's video. So a lot of times we could get it wrong when it comes to understanding our relationship when it comes to food and self-control. See, let me know if one of these thoughts cross your mind before. The first thought is, in order to have self-control, that means I have to eat less. Or two, if I'm struggling with food, then something is wrong with me. Or maybe if you had this thought, God is disappointed with me every time I mess up. And I want you to know that whether it was the first thought or the last thought, you are not alone. Everyone watching can relate to one point or the other when it comes to this. And I definitely can as well. But God also wants you to know that you do not have to go through this alone. And He wants to partner with you when it comes to understanding your relationship with food. Now, here is the truth. Self-control is a fruit of the Spirit. It's actually listed as one of the 9 according to Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. So it is very important to have. And matter of fact, it shows that as you produce this character, then you're having more of His character in a lot of the decisions that you make, including when it comes to food. And so it's very important to have. But if we take a moment to think about fruit by itself, fruit cannot be produced by itself. You see, it has to be connected to something in order for it to get its source of nutrients and everything and grow to its capacity in order for us to enjoy it later. If you think of like an apple or an orange, it is produced on trees. And so you're not going to randomly go outside and see an apple growing from the ground, but it's going to be connected to a tree. You might see some apples that have fallen to the ground, but it's going to be connected to a tree. And then they're picked off and then distributed to the grocery stores and everything. And the same thing happens when it comes to the fruit of the Spirit, specifically self-control. My friend, we cannot produce self-control on our own. A lot of times we could try to figure out things on our own and come up with like a whole system with our food and everything. And then after being consistent for some time, we start to stray off a little bit because we've been doing things a lot on our own way instead of seeking the Lord and doing it His way. And you may be wondering, well, where is this connecting from? Like, why is it so important that I connect with God when it comes to this? Like, it's just food. Well, if you take a look at John chapter 15, verse 5, it says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you remain in me and I in you, you will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So going back to the fruit, like apples and oranges, and those fruit, they have to be connected to a tree in order for it to grow to its full capacity. What makes you think that you can produce your fruit on your own? See, if we try to produce fruit on our own, then this isn't regular. This is actually striving and putting pressure on ourselves, the kind of pressure and burden that the Lord does not want us to have. And so if you see that you're, eating is such a chore and it's actually causing more stress than enjoyment and everything, then you have to ask, what is the source of it all? Because when it comes to finding comfort with food, if you're looking to food to be your source of comfort, to be your source of everything instead of the Lord, now we have to take a look at the heart, because this is no longer just a random thing that we have with food, but now this is a heart issue that we have to get to the root of. Now, if you look at Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23, it says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. And so we have to check our heart. Why are we going to food to be our source of comfort after having a stressful day? Why do we think that ice cream could solve all problems? Now, there's nothing wrong when it comes to ice cream, but when you're constantly looking for it to be a reward or, just help you settle down for the day, now we have to ask ourselves, why is that? And so, like I said in the beginning, the Lord wants us to partner with Him. And this is exactly what it looks like. So when you're partnering with the Lord, it looks like nourishing your body as stewardship. It's no longer a chore, but it's natural. Another thing is now you're listening to your hunger cues. You're not just eating because the food is right there, but now you're listening to your body and you're responding to your body based on those cues. Another thing that what's happening is that now you're trusting God with your body to make decisions that will sustain you, and not just for a temporary moment, but for a longer, everlasting moment. And the last thing that happens is when you partner with God, you're now eating with peace and not with worry and everything. And so, my friends, this is why I want to invite you to the Seed of Strength course. And it's not another meal plan, but it's really getting to the root of who you are, that true identity, so you could get everlasting results, whether you join a program with me or anyone else that you see. You could have results that will be long lasting and not just for the moment. So I'm going to share that in the description below. I pray that this video has blessed you, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, beautiful.